Hey everybody, this is Seth, Keeping It Real. We are broadcasting live from around the world, and this is not just a statement, it is true. I am so excited to be here today because I'm honored to be the host of people who represent 5 different countries, and technically more than that, because Oleg has lived, I think, in like 73 countries in his life or something like that. But thank you so much, guys, for being here. What I'm gonna do, just so you guys know who is who on this panel, and just to make it clear, this is a panel, it's a Q&A. So our only agenda is 2 things, to help you and to talk about a super cool bundle we just released. That's it. So I'm gonna start with David. David, can you tell us where you're from and what you do? What is your specialty?
Hey guys, my name is David Lopez. I'm originally from Cuba. I've been living here in the United States for about 8 years now. I'm a web developer, I'm an Amazon coach, and an Amazon seller as well. Right now, we are doing an amazing job creating website, e-commerce website for all Just One Day members. Yeah.
I can say this with pride. David has a 100% satisfaction rate in his websites. When you go back and ask, what do you think? How would you grade this? It has so far been 100%. That's what I love, is his material is so amazing. David can help you with questions about search engine optimization, about blog content marketing, about how to optimize your website so it works in conjunction with Amazon. So if someone buys on your website, Amazon fulfills it. Those are his specialties. So if you have questions like that, those are for David. And also, I want to commend David. Yesterday, I was in Seattle. I'm texting him, and he and his family are running from the hurricane. So he's still here, he's running from Irma, and he's here in our show, which is just amazing. So David, thank you very much for being here, brother.
You're welcome.
Our next guest is Drago. This is super exciting. I met Drago not too long ago. When Drago joined our team, I realized he had this incredible ability to do something amazing with images. So Drago, tell us where you're from and tell us what you do.
Hello everyone. My name is Drago. I'm from Serbia. I'm working in 3D renderings of products in about 7 years now, and I did quite a lot of product renderings for the Amazon. So yeah, I help people to choose best images for their listings.
There are people who have looked at Drago's image and looked at a real image, and they thought Drago's image was the real one. Enough said. If you have questions about photo editing, about 3D rendering, about high-end photos, how those should look on Amazon, Drago is the master at this. Our next guest is Kyle. Kyle and I know each other actually for a while now. I can't believe how long it's been, Kyle. Well, I'm not going to tell you where he is. He'll tell you where he is. But Kyle, tell us what you do. Tell us where you're from, brother, and anything you want to share about yourself.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Howlett. I'm the founder and creator of the Keyword Tool Dominator. So I guess you could say I'm a keyword specialist, but I'm also a software engineer. I'm also a Bitcoiner. I do internet marketing. I'm an Amazon seller. I pretty much do a lot related to software.
And Kyle is the master of Keyword Tool Dominator. He developed software. I know this because I have experienced that software. And Kyle also got up extremely early in the morning to be here. For his time, it was 6 a.m. For my time, it was 9 a.m. For Peter and Angel, 10 p.m. So we're everywhere. Very cool. And Oleg, where are you right now? Where are you from? What do you do, brother?
Hi guys, I'm Oleg. I'm a co-founder of Amazon, and I'm Amazon seller by myself, and I'm digital nomad, so I'm not living anywhere. Now I'm in Lithuania for the next few weeks, and glad to be here.
Awesome. You guys know Amazon. Most of you guys do. Amazon is my favorite tool for doing in-depth product research on Amazon. Oleg is the architect of that. And then we also have Peter and Angel. Peter and Angel are sourcing experts. So they take care of sourcing and logistics and finding suppliers and samples and inspections. I mean, they cover so many topics, it confuses me sometimes. Peter and Angel, thank you so much for being here. Tell us where you guys are from and just a little more about what you do.
So I think we are representing 3 continents in the same time, because originally I am from Middle Europe. I lived in US for 12 years, and I met Angel actually on the San Francisco airport first time. We got to know each other, and we ended up here in China. Angel does this product sourcing for a while, like I think it's about more than 15 years now. And when I came here, I started to learn from her, and we started to work together. Actually, she has the big experience. She's an expert, and I'm doing kind of like a background work mostly. Emails, computer stuff, databases, spreadsheets, tracking systems, etc. Some photography. So I'm doing everything, but she is an architect.
Superman.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much, Peter and Angel, for being here, guys. This is a really neat opportunity, everyone who's listening or watching right now, for you to be able to ask questions. And I can see we have a billion questions came in already. This is super cool. And so we're going to do the best we can to help you guys. And then we'll talk about our super cool, ultra, super duper, ultimate, whatever you call it, bundle at the end. Really quick, I just want to share something with you guys. This is one of the beauties of knowing people and networking and what it can bring about in your life. So I was in Seattle, as many of you guys know, and I was speaking at the Sellers Conference. And while I was there, I and a couple other different Amazon experts in different variations were approached by a representative of a country. And this country is looking for people to train their main businesses and teach them how to sell on Amazon.com. Because the country, what happens is a lot of the businesses, if they don't succeed in the country, they leave. They go to other countries where business is higher and there's more customers. So they want to take these businesses and bring them online. Well, they approached us and we met for hours and talked about providing them with training to teach these businesses how to be effective. And the government would be funding 70% of that. And the government wants to see this happen so that this country's economy could be reignited. When I realized this opportunity was presented to me and a couple other people, we would all be working as a team, I almost just dropped to the floor in amazement. And I mean, how did that happen? I was at a conference, so happened to be there. Someone saw a YouTube video. Other people were there who could handle other stuff that I'm not good at, and vice versa. And all of a sudden, we're in this conversation. Guys, think about the impact people can have around the world just through networking and knowing different people. And it's not about knowing people so you can name drop like, hey, by the way, guys, I know Oleg. Now, it's cool to say that, but it's not about that, right? It's just being able to know people genuinely and work with them and help each other. That's what matters. That's what's so important. And this isn't some philanthropic mission I'm on, but nor is it just, let's make money. And for me, life is integrated. It's holistic. And if you can help people as you go and bring truth into their life and make money and invest that money and make a difference, that matters. That's meaningful. And the opportunity to help an entire country, unbelievable. And I'm looking for people to help because this is the biggest opportunity I've ever been presented in my life. Now, nothing's a guarantee. No contracts are signed. No procurement has done. So I don't want to get your hopes up here and nothing happened. But that's the reality of it so far. And whether or not something comes out of that, think about 10 years from now what can happen. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, so we're going to start. I can see we have a ton of questions. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for asking these questions. All right, so we're just going to jump right in. I am going to scroll way up, and I'm going to just start gathering the questions as they come in. And I love it. Some of these people, they're just like, boom, as soon as they got in, they asked a question because they know I'm going to go to the first ones. So good to see you, Randy, from the Philippines. Hello, Joe. Yes, ditto to prayers for the Irma victims. Absolutely. Hello, Rob. Hello, Jan. Jan, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Jan is from Germany. Laura, how are you? Thank you so much. Derek Rush from Florida. Oh, good luck, Florida. Gotcha. Okay. Paul from Chile. Good to see you. Derek from Thailand. Fred is wondering where his coffee is. Well, brother, I got my tea right here. Hello, Kevyan from Spain. Aseni from the UK. Malad from Germany. Bojidar, boom, what's up, brother? Agiers from Latvia. Ushmik Box from Southern California. Got it, Esther. Okay, there we go. I thought that was your name. All right, hello, Larry. How are you, my friend? Okay, cool. So we have a ton of people here from all over the world. And we are going, hello from New York. I should have worn my New York shirt today, Jacob. We're gonna start, okay. So I am looking for the questions, guys. There's a whole lot of greetings in here. Yes, there is a replay, and it will be right on this channel, trivial username, absolutely. Okay, here's the first question. I will give this one to David. David, is it possible to make a Facebook shop and sell the Amazon products by that shop? And everyone, you're welcome to jump in too if you want. But David, I'll give you the first shot at this. Is it possible to make a Facebook shop and sell the Amazon products by that shop?
Absolutely. Seb, I hear some feedback when I talk. Okay, it's going on. Yeah, actually, you can. Actually, Facebook ads is, I mean, we're getting more and more into that. I mean, we're planning to do something very special in the group about Facebook ads because it's a very powerful tool. If you know how to use it, I mean, it can become a huge advantage for your Amazon business. So actually, you can create a Facebook store just as you can create your online store and offer your Amazon products through that store. So actually, you can and you should. I mean, at some point down the road, you should.
And more people are using that as well.
Yesterday, I was talking to one of our Diamond members, and she's running a very successful Facebook page. I mean, she created this amazing fan page, which is related to the product that she's selling. And it's an amazing, the advertisement that she's doing. And it's free because she got thousands of followers, and you know, every day she posts a promotion, and then she gets sales. So yeah, it's a very powerful tool.
Here's another question for you, David. Paul says, do you recommend Shopify? That's the first question. I'll throw that one at you.
Oh, you know, you guys said, you know, I'm a WordPress guy, but I mean, we're working on that as well. I promise you, we're gonna start offering as well Shopify for our members. But I like better WordPress because it's a way more complete tool, in my opinion. So many plugins, the integration, you can create way better designs. I mean, Shopify is a good tool. It's very easy, but it's very limited. That's why I prefer WordPress, and it's cheaper as well.
And as I mentioned, guys, I'm getting feedback.
Oh, let me use it.
No problem. As I mentioned earlier, guys, you can use your website. You can use a plugin. Shopify has this integration built in. You still have to do a little bit of technical entering in data, but it's not like CSS or HTML5. But with WordPress, you can get a plugin that does this for you. So every time someone purchases my Seattle glass from Seattle, every time it happens, Amazon's shipping it for me. I'm not literally packaging and shipping out from my website, which is super nice. And David can show you how to do that. Second question, David. Third question, actually. David, I think you stole the show, brother. What hosting do you use for the websites you make for Just One Dime members? And by the way, everyone, he doesn't just do it for Just One Dime members. If you're not a member of Just One Dime, you can still purchase his website. The difference is you get a huge discount if you are a Just One Dime member. But yeah, what about that, David?
Well, actually, I mean, most of the time I recommend a company. It's called Banner Hosting. It's no well known, but I've been working with these people for about 7 years now and never had a problem with them. They're very professional. I mean, the prices are amazing as well. And that's why I recommend them. I mean, if you ask me, GoDaddy is a very professional company as well. So, but I normally recommend Banner Hosting. That's the one that I recommend people to use.
Banner Hosting?
Banana, yes, like banana. I mean, I know that the name is not, it's not that good, but these people are very professional.
Well, hey, a long time ago, there were a couple guys in the garage. They decided to start a company, and they named it after a fruit. And later it became the richest company in the world called Apple. So yeah. You never know, right? I bet back then a lot of people laughed. Yeah. Okay, Drago, this question is for you. Do you type on photos, Drago? Do you type on them, put text and letters on them?
Yes, of course. They are called infographics. When we finish rendering, we are cleaning up image and adding basically anything you have in mind. We can add depending on the type of the product, you know. But yes, definitely we do also that kind of images.
And just so you guys know, one thing that he does very, very, very well, one of the hardest pictures to get is a lifestyle picture. And by that I mean someone who, okay, we're selling the Seahawks, whatever glass, and they're drinking from it. You want to see this. You don't want to just see a glass on Amazon. You want to see someone using it. Or they're at a party and they're smiling and it shows some kind of ambiance. So what he'll do is if you get a professional photo, you guys can do this as well. If you get it from Shutterstock or some other place, buy it. They're not that expensive. With some nice looking people in it. And if you need to send it to Drago first to make sure he knows he can do it so he can vet it and test it, he can add the glass into the picture. Now I've seen terrible, terrible examples of like literally the glass looks like it's floating where people try to Photoshop it in. That's not what these look like. You can't tell it's not part of the picture. And Drago helps to filter a good picture that will work with it and one that won't. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, Drago?
Yes, of course, because a lot of people, when you want to, Photoshop image to the, Shutterstock image, you need to make it in correct angle, and that's not possible if you don't have 3D renderings. With 3D renderings, then you can make 3D render and then combine it with real life image. And most of the, in some cases, client doesn't know what would be the best image for him, So I choose, I suggest him some images that would be the best, So yeah, it's not, it's not just important that image is great, but also how product looks in the image.
Very good. And guys, it's very expensive to pay for a model. Trust me, my wife and I have done it many times. You hire a model, you get a professional photographer, they take the pictures. That's expensive. Now, we still have to do it because a lot of our products are clothing. And that's one thing Drago and his team stay away from is if it's a soft cloth-like product, they won't do it. Why? Because they can't make it look amazing. They're only going to do stuff they can make look amazing. So you could do a belt. You could even do a purse because it has a smooth finish. You could do a mug. You could do glass. You could do some kinds of food as long as it's not like a fuzzy peach. But if it's fuzzy and soft, that's the one thing they won't do. But it's so much cheaper and less expensive to have a 3D render do it. Get a professional photo, add it in, you're done. Photos is a massive topic. I just spoke with CJ Rosenbaum. He is a lawyer for Amazon, and he and I were able to talk a bit. He led a Q&A session, and I asked a bunch of questions. I was thinking of you guys like, okay, what are the questions we're going to need to know? He's going to be at the conference next year. In fact, guys, almost everyone in this room right now will be at the conference, either so you can meet them or also speaking and teaching. So this is sort of like a little teaser for that, because at the conference, it's going to be live and you can be there, raise your hand and say, hey, Drago, tell me this. Oleg, tell me this. Very, very cool opportunity. Okay, Oleg, I'll give this question to you. I have a product with 2 variations. Can I add new 250 character backend keywords on the second variation? This is kind of a tricky question, but I give it to you, Oleg.
Okay, I don't want to steal it from Kyle. He's a keyword expert, but I think all this keyword game, it's quite in change in Amazon right now. And to be honest, I didn't do any test on this new 250 keywords for variations. But what I know is it's much more important to put the right keywords in title and bullets and so I do it with different variations. I use different keywords in text, but in backend I use the same keywords for all the variations. So I have no experience to answer this.
Yeah, well, that's still helpful information, and it's 250 characters. Just to make sure you understand, Mark, who has the question, characters. So it could be a space, like hitting the space bar. It could be a dot. It could be, well, you're not going to use a dot, but you get the idea. Could be a space, could be a letter, could be a capital, whatever it is. It's characters. 250 total your limitation. So yes, you absolutely can. Let's see. By the way.
Can I jump in on that real quick?
Absolutely, brother.
So I would echo what Oleg said as far as putting the keywords first in the title, the bullet points in the description on there. But one key point is to make sure that you're using unique keywords, just the word on there. So when you talk about characters, don't overlap the words. So if you already have the keyword in your title, which should be the primary location, consider that your sweet spot on there. And then the bullet points would be your secondary, and then your description would be the third location. And then everything else that you couldn't fit in there, put in the back end of the 250 words or the 250 characters, but make sure they're unique words. Don't overlap, because if you overlap, it doesn't give you any value. You're just wasting space.
Carl, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
We were having this discussion the other day, and actually we have this listing. We have over 250 bytes. That's how Amazon called them. And the sales went down, and then we changed back to 250 bytes again, and then the sales went up again. But my question is, Amazon is telling us not to repeat the keywords that we put on the title, the bullet points, or the description. Do not put those on the. At least that's a way that I see it. Do not put those keywords in the backend. I mean, is that true? What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I use the backend for like targeting groups. Like say it's a toy. I don't want to put like toddler or baby and all that in my title and my bullet point. You know, I want to highlight the features and highlight the product, highlight in the description. But in the backend, I'll put for toddlers, for children, for kids, for girls, for boys. Just get all those. So I'll put boys, girls, kids, children, gift, grandma, you know, all these different little variations that people could search for, and they all kind of tie back to the product, but they're not the primary keyword phrases. But yeah, I would limit it to 250 characters.
And guys, if you add any more, it won't get indexed anyways, and it won't help you at all. And there's been evidence that it'll actually de-rank your product. It'll hurt it if you overdo it. And there was a day when Amazon was kind of more like the late 90s and early 2000s where just stuff it, and those titles look ridiculous. They're becoming more and more and more selective. So just use them very carefully and precisely. Really good, helpful information. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kyle. All right, so if the goal, this is West Trad, is to eventually bring Amazon customers to my website, David, should I also have products at my location? Or should my website direct all purchase orders back to Amazon's warehouse? So should I be shipping them from my house? Or should they be shipping from Amazon when someone comes to my website to purchase?
Well, unless you buy a warehouse and hire people, I mean, I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's called passive income for a reason. So I want Amazon to take care of that for me. I mean, trust me, I have done this in the past. In the past, I was an eBay seller. My goodness, when you get 30, 40 units in a day, that becomes a full-time job. You have to, bring all those labels, then, package the product, attach the label, take the product to the post office. That's every day. And that's the thing that we need to do is to fulfill the order by yourself. So at the end, it's going to be cheaper if you choose to do it through the multi-channel fulfillment. Trust me, it's going to be cheaper. When you put the ink or the printer, the paper, the time, the gas, it's cheaper, 100% cheaper. That's why I would keep using Amazon Warehouse, because you're gonna keep using, you're gonna keep selling your product in Amazon, so the product's gonna be there. So the sales that you get through your store, fulfill it with Amazon as well. Passive income.
There was a day, Trud, when my wife and I were in this room, back when it was a different room, and we would spend more than half the day just packing stuff and shipping it out, on eBay. And it was a horrible use of our time. Now, Amazon's doing that for us. We can do this. We can focus on this. We can find another product. So 100% agree with that. Okay, Kyle, what do you base, I love this question. What do you base keywords on for your product? Do you base it on high search volume? Do you base it on competition or something else?
Well, great question. It really depends. Generally, I try to find the highest search volume keyword as my starting point. And then I'm constantly refining the keywords as my listing starts to generate. Well, let me give you a little context. So when I create a listing, I find the keywords that have the highest search volume, and then I create all these variations for that. And then I go back and I create unique keyword sets. And then I find out what's most natural, because Amazon says, put the natural representation of that word in your product title, in your bullet points, in your description.
Right.
And then I run an advertisement. And I do the automatic one, and then I find out what keywords the Amazon is linking up to my product listing. And then if I don't have those keywords in the listing, I start adding those variations as well. But I use Keyword Tool Dominator, find all the keywords. So
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
If you guys go to Amazon.com and start typing in Seattle glass, it's going to give you recommendations based on what people are searching. Well, Keyword Tool Dominator does it like that. It'll save you hours and hours of time, so it's right there. get
Yeah,
keywords.
the magic behind the Dominator is essentially we're automating the process of pulling back those auto-suggested keywords. And instead of us trying to come up with keyword phrases that are basically guesses out of everywhere or anywhere, we actually go directly to the source, straight to Amazon. You put in a seed, and then it comes back and gives you every single suggestion that Amazon would show you if you just typed it in manually, but we do it like Seth said in just seconds. So there's no guesswork. It tells you exactly what people are searching for on Amazon, and you just use that as the basis of your keywords for your product listing.
There's a smile on my face for a reason, Kyle and Oleg. This is one of my strategies. So this is, maybe it was the whole reason I did this show. I wanted you guys to meet. So this is Kyle and Oleg's first time to officially meet over video. Kyle and Oleg are both extremely good at keyword, and they have different philosophies, not competing, but different. So I want to pit you guys against each other, and no, I'm just joking. But I would love, Oleg, to hear some of your perspectives on what Kyle is sharing. And guys, don't feel like you have to agree. We're all friends. We all learn. I got a text from one of the guys I met at the conference. His name is Tim Jordan. He started Hickory Flats, and he's going to be speaking at a conference. Brilliant guy. And he texted me, and I don't know if he'll let me read it. He won't care if I read this. No, he won't care. He's that kind of guy. But let me just tell you really quick, guys, what he said. Give me 1 second. I will pull it up. Okay, Tim Jordan. He says, 1 second. I feel a little discouraged because I feel we didn't get enough time together. I feel like we need to compare a lot of notes, tell a lot of stories, and passionately argue about some things. So I believe in healthy, discussion. So Oleg, I would love to hear some of your thoughts on keywords and what Kyle's sharing. And I'd like to moderate this and have fun watching. I know it sounds evil, but Oleg, share it with us a little bit, man.
Yeah, sure. I would love to. I think there is no right strategy because there's so many strategies and they're different from product to product, from market to market. So what I usually do, I also do the same and try to put as many as possible keyword with huge volume that people are looking on Amazon really, and also I do some how we call it semantic. I don't know the term in English. How you say all different synonyms, Spanish words, and all things that related. So try to see. Now it's a little bit tricky with this 250 limitation, but I still try to put as much as possible. I use very good native speaker writers because I'm not a native speaker, so it's not easy task for me. And then I try to follow with advertising reports because there's a lot of things you can learn from there, like what Kale said, what Amazon think you are related to, and also I really look at the CTR. So what people click, if they find me with something wrong, or I was on the other product listing and they click me, and the CTR is the higher is better. So I see, okay, people find me with something that I never think of, and I try to edit and experiment. And also I'm trying to check every competitor that show up in my automatic campaign. In your search term report, if you see the ASINs, it means that you've been shown on the competitor's page and somebody clicked on you. And I try to understand okay, if somebody was looking for me and I was on this guy's page, I'm stealing some keywords from them too. But again, it's play and check and A/B testing, and because there is no magic, and I like to automate things, and there is something I don't have any algorithm that I can make. Okay, computer, do it for me. I'm still looking for this thing to add to Amazon one day, but not now.
So it's a process, is what he's saying, guys. You keep going back, you keep testing, you find different words. You might find for your product that, a word for this could be glass, Seattle drinking glass, but you might find the competition's way too high, way too expensive for your Amazon ad. So instead you go with a different keyword. It could be tall Seattle drinking glass. That's a longer tail keyword. You don't have to spend as much money, but there's still enough demand. And so you start ranking for that. So this is really good. And just for fun, Kyle, someone asked this question, is Amazal the best place to get your keywords?
I'll have to be honest, I haven't really used Amazal. Seth demoed it to me, so that's my exposure to it. So I couldn't say one or the other, but it sounds like it's an awesome tool. So, I couldn't really answer that question.
What he's saying is he doesn't know because keyword tool dominator is badass. No, we're just having fun, guys.
Yeah.
I can say this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle and Oleg. Keyword tool dominator serves a different purpose. It tells you what autocomplete people are searching for in Amazon. It's very, very direct information. That's why it's very powerful. Amazal currently uses merchant words. The merchant words guy will be speaking at our conference in March, ironically, which is kind of cool. Finally got a hold of that guy. It took forever. That's another funny story I could tell it another day. But on Amazal, merchant words is giving you global volume. It's not pulling it directly from Amazon. It's pulling it from things like Keyword Planner, Google. Correct, Oleg?
Sorry to correct you, but we're doing also merchant words, and we're also playing with data from Google, because basically, if you not take this data from Amazon, that we're actually doing it also now. We have provide you Amazon Auto Suggest keywords too, and all other tools. They take some data from Google, because this is only, well, maybe Microsoft Bing or some others, and they try to play with this data and make it more related to buyers. So we're trying to combine both worlds, merchant word, Google, and Amazon Auto Suggest, everything, and we're trying to analyze competitors to bring you options from your, if you're looking for glass, there is some other glasses selling on, so we provide you like cloud of the words, so you can pick. Oh, yeah. Usually it works for me because my vocabulary is quite limited, so I see a lot of options in this competitor keyword cloud. Yeah.
I wonder if your limitations on your vocabulary. I'm getting a little feedback. Thanks, man. I wonder if your limitation, your vocabulary, is a benefit, because it helps you to be more objective. Because, well, I've never heard this word before. So you're not emotionally attached. You're just looking at the data, and the data is driving that. So this is really awesome, you guys. Everyone, just want to mention Peter and Angel, sitting on my right. You guys might see them in a different place on your screen. Are sourcing experts. And they can help you if you have questions about how do I find a factory or supplier I can trust. So I'm going to throw a question out there. This question comes up all the time. Peter and Angel, could you please help us to understand the difference between a supplier, a factory, and a manufacturer? And I know they overlap, but those words are used, thrown around so much, and people get confused. Usually when people think factory, they literally think a factory with smoke coming out of a chimney, and it's, it's building something. And then manufacturer is kind of generic. And what is a supplier? Is it a middleman? Could you guys help break that down for us the best that you can?
So the supplier can be even an agent, even a company that works with sourcing, or it can be a manufacturer. So that is just a cover word for anybody here in China who can somehow get a product to your hand. So that's the supplier. And so many times in China, basically people, they like to say that they are the factory who they are making the product. And it's not always true, or is often not true. So it has a little art in it, that how to find the real factory who actually is making that product. Now for a manufacturer or factory is pretty close to each other. Now, it can be a big factory, like exactly as you say that a big building, smoke is coming out from it. Actually, not too far where we live, there is a sock company. Sometimes we see that big smoke is coming out from the building, I mean from the chimney or what they have there, and they are making the socks. But on the other hand, there are only like a much smaller type of factories. I will not say factory, but manufacturer. So it's very interesting here. We have these buildings and where people live, and almost every building, the bottom section, there are these garages. What I will say, these are warehouses, and every warehouse, like 90% of these warehouses, is a company where they are making something, or is a warehouse. So here, a person, for somebody to start a business, to make something, is very simple. They just go to purchase a garage or rent a garage, get few people, and they just start to make something. Like sewing something, they buy some simple machine and they start to make, and the whole place is just few square meters, and they start to produce. And that is the other part, or other side of this manufacturer. So from a big factory with a chimney and hundreds of employees, up to a little place where can be like 2-3 people working with a little lamp on a desk, and they are just making something. So this is a range of different manufacturers' factories. Would you like to add something?
No.
Okay, I think from my experience, I think pretty much covered, because it's enough just to walk on a street, and I don't mean on a main street, because that is like a window to the main street, a kind of agency. But if we go to the next and the third and the fourth streets, almost every building is like full of these little companies, if I say this way, these manufacturer units. And I heard that this from the government is supported, because anybody can start without any paper, without any license, and as I heard that up to 1 year, they don't even check if they have a correct license to make something. And
For this, how it is.
yeah, like we had here in this building where we are, even on the first ground level, there almost every year is a different company there who are making something. So I don't know if I covered the question, but these are those different sizes, stages.
Yeah, no, that's very helpful. When you talk about a manufacturer, it can be also a factory in the mind of someone in China?
It can be, but kind of one side is a factory, other side is the agent, sourcing agent or someone, and the manufacturer is somewhere between, this way a little bit more or that way a little bit more. So
Got it. So the manufacturer can vary. The factory is definitely the factory, and the supplier just means they're supplying it. No matter how they're getting it, they're supplying it, right? Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's very helpful. We hired someone to go and inspect a factory, and they put us on, we were on video, on my phone, they were on their phone. So he's walking around, this guy from Russia, really cool guy, and he was showing me, and it was like a warehouse about as little bigger than this room right here. And there were no machines, and there was stuff all over the floor, and there were like boxes and things, and like you couldn't even tell what it was, but they were the factory, you know? And so that was really helpful. I did not go with them. So what you're saying is you guys can go in and find a legitimate factory for someone to source their product.
Yes, basically how we find the factory, actually, we have like Angel is expert in this, because she just asks you questions, and from her experience she just know that that is a factory or not. Basically we have a set of questions and we ask. So first, what papers you have, what licenses you have, how many people are working for you, and we are getting more serious with these questions, and finally we get to the point that, okay, so can we visit you tomorrow or the next day, or which time is the best? And that is the point when actually they just say that, oh, actually they are not the factory.
Yeah.
Or they respond, or if they are answering our questions like they know what they are talking about without delay, and up to this final question that, of course, please, anytime, or let us know. And so we know that, yes, that is a factory and they know what they are talking about.
So that factory inspection builds in accountability. That makes total sense. Now here's a question. If you were to walk 15 feet that way, in the other room in our studio, I have a box and it is full of 12 to 13 different items that I purchased off of Amazon because I'm testing something out. We're gonna create this holistic kit. It's a new product. And I'm buying them, the top sellers from Amazon, to learn how they work and what they do and all that. How possible would it be if I was to give you one of these products to say, can you find the factory that produced this? Is that like impossible? Is it possible? What would that be like?
So actually, when we have that product, first, what we do, we find what can be the name of that product. And we start to search first online, and actually pretty much we are getting results. Basically on a search page we are getting I don't know, 6, 7, 8 different factories or suppliers who are basically supplying that product. And now we start our research by basically contacting one by one each of them and starting our questions. And basically from those 8 or how many, we come down to actually there are only 2 factories who are making the product, and the other ones, they have an agreement or they are just buying from them and they are just supplying or reselling.
Yeah. So basically, if I go to Alibaba and there's this product, I'll just use this as an example, this probably isn't going to be on there, but I go to Alibaba, there's this product, and I say, hey, Peter and Angel, can you help me to find a factory that produces this product? There's going to be maybe 15 different companies that say they produce it, but I don't know if it's a supplier, a manufacturer, a factory, an agent. And so you guys will go to the factories, you'll vet them, you ask questions and find out which ones actually make the product. Is that correct, Peter and Angel? Okay.
Yes, it's pretty much this is how we will doing it.
Also, you know, on the internet, you see the picture, you don't know what is exactly, but after you talk, so, you know, sometimes you see the price is big different. So sometimes the supplier or the factory, they will say, from the picture you can see, or even maybe people can copy, just post on there, but they will say, okay, from which part of the quality or how you will know. So not only just look at the price, or on this way, when you have the questions, so when you know from them, they will explain to you, you know who is the more experienced or if it's already the factory.
Actually, that is a good point. We are asking specific questions about the product more and more, and the supplier or the factory, the manufacturer who makes that product can answer all those questions, or they have the certainty and they know what they are answering.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you, guys. So someone, Sunny Bo, shout out to you. How are you? Good to see you. So Robello says, I can't find a niche. I need help. So anyone wants to answer this question? I'm looking for a niche, a product to sell, a market. Can anyone help them out?
Okay, it looks like it's my turn. Oh, David, you want to go?
Go ahead, Oleg. Thank you for calling me David. I mean, it has been a while. Everybody calls me David.
David, sorry, it's Israel way of saying it, sorry. I don't know, I think Seth made number of nice videos how to find a potential product or niche on Amazon, and we involving more and more, and I can share my strategy for now, what I'm doing. we already have few lines of products, so I'm mostly looking in very limited area, the products that resonates to me and to my existing business. So I'm not, you know, picking around everything. And I totally believe that to sell something, I don't know if it's glasses or whatever you want to sell, eventually you need to be very connected to your customers, to your audience, especially when you want to go long term, when you want to build something big and not, you know, just make few batches, make some money and go next and next. I'm too lazy to build new products. I'm trying to, you know, do some one shot but long term, and I have a partner that we do the Amazon things, and we choose only things that like kind of we like it, we use it, and not everybody around me know about it. So I'm more or less early adopter in my life, and
Well,
I try a lot of stuff.
Well, like really quick, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but you made such a great point. I just want to take a moment to think on that. You said most people don't know about it. You know, think about this. So every Friday, a garbage truck comes to pick up our trash. Every other Friday, the recycle truck comes to pick up our trash. I always forget which Friday the recycle truck's supposed to be here. So guess what I do, you guys? Do you know how I find out when the recycle truck is going to be here? I look at my neighbors. Now, what if they're doing the same thing? You see what I mean? So if everyone's looking at everyone to figure out what to do, what's going to happen? Bloody waters, all the sharks are here, no blue ocean strategy. I was just talking to someone, and they said the product you find should be a product, if you can be, that even a lot of people wouldn't know about it. They wouldn't know what it is. They look at it and go, what's that? But the people who do know about it are passionate about it. They're avid about it. So I just thought that was such a great point. But back to you, man.
Yeah, this is more or less our strategies for now. Is like find things that we know, and I know a lot of things, and my partner also, and I have many friends that like early adopters, and they know things, and then I go and check the numbers with Amazon, all the demand, competition, profit, and so. Because I don't believe you can build successful business on something that you don't believe much, that you don't really understand. You can learn, okay, but I cannot go with pet supplies because I don't have any pets. Okay, I can, again, I do research for some people. I help them to understand and check the numbers and say, okay, this is good, it's not, but probably it will be a bad idea for me to go to this. And but I have a baby, so baby's products is something that like, okay, I spend, and so my advice is find something that you heard about and some people passionate about it, and maybe you are, and check the numbers. And find another thing, check the numbers, and when you find the right numbers, right keywords, and there's different strategies, and more or less, and then try. I think now, if there's enough demand on Amazon and you can find a supplier with good margin, there is chances almost zero to get broke. Yeah, so like, if there is a demand and you can find good deal,
yeah,
just go.
I'm going to share some super sobering news, everyone. And we always talk about keeping it real. Some people might not share this because they don't want you to know this. I'm going to tell you right now. I just spoke to someone who's all in analytics, and they study the Amazon marketplace, the buyers and the sellers, and how they operate. Do you know what the average amount of money Amazon sellers make on Amazon? 0. Think about that. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean, oh my goodness, it's saturated, no opportunity? No. What it means is, in all respect to my fellow humans, most people don't know jack about how to sell on Amazon. I just received, one of my friends sent me, he doesn't sell on Amazon, so no discredit to him, but he sent me last night, I'm on the plane, on the internet, doing my email, catching up, and he sent me a document from someone who's selling a course. And the course is how to make money on Amazon. And here's what it said. And this is gonna, like, you're gonna cringe, Kyle and Oleg and everyone when you hear this, and David. It said, all you need to do is find a really great product, post it on Amazon, make money. It's that simple. That's what it said. And I thought, that's not just a stretch of the truth, that is a BS lie. I'm thinking, if people think, oh, that's all it is, oh, that's easy, buy the course and try, what are they? They're gonna be one of those people who make zero money on Amazon. When you're on Amazon, you guys, you are not selling stuff. You're building a freaking business, and you have to know the market. Why am I talking to 5 different people from different fields? Why don't I have the ability just to do it all on my own? Because I'm the Lone Ranger, I can make it happen. I'm an entrepreneur. No, that's called a one-entrepreneur. A real entrepreneur has to build relationships with people to learn from them. There are things Kyle knows, I don't know. There are things Peter and Angel know, I will never know. Like, there's things, you need people, you need other resources. That's why we're all about bringing resources together so you build a business. Building a business is not easy. It's one of the hardest things you will ever do, and yet, if you love entrepreneurship and you love margin, you love challenge, it is one of the most satisfying things you will ever do. So I'm thinking, man, if everyone's making, like, the average is 0, that means massive opportunity for people who have knowledge. So I encourage you, listen, these are people who are living this out day by day. Peter and Angel are in China doing sourcing. They're there. I am flying to China in October to visit them, to learn from them. You see, that's the mentality we need to have, is learn from people and network. Because building a business is not easy, and it's not easy on Amazon. Okay, guys, something I'm very passionate about. Anything any of you guys want to add to that before I move on to more questions?
I think the formula, when we talk about this, is simple, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. To me, the formula would be, yes, high demand product, make your product better than your competition. I mean, this is the key here. And then the last one, which is, in my opinion, the most difficult one, is get a good deal in China, so your profit margin, as Oleg was talking about. If you got a good profit, 45, 50, 55%, I mean, you can play with your price. You can go lower, you can go up. I mean, and you have a good price. People are not eat this, guys. People are in Amazon to find a deal, and you're offering that. But, I mean, I totally agree with you, bro.
Really, really good point, man. Oleg, someone asked this question. His name is FBA Freedom. He says, Oleg, is there any chance Amazon will have the ability to track actual sales and inventory numbers of tracked products?
I think today is almost impossible, because the only trick was to track actual sales number. It was 999, like 999 trick. And from our experience, many people, they just block it, so it doesn't work anymore. What we do different estimations, and we're working hard to make this more and more precise. And I don't want disclosure. There's something coming in next few months, and I believe our estimation will be almost perfect. So
awesome. Thank you. Andalou, the way you become a member of JOD, I'm actually going to give you guys a link at the end. You have an opportunity to get our newest bundle. I and my business partner were up all night long preparing the final things on it, so this would be ready for today. So I'll send that link at the end, and it'll give you an option to get something very cool. I'm trying not to say anything about it, and I'm very tempted to. Scott says, Rockin' Oleg, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to the bottom now, then I'll just go up with the questions, guys. And we're gonna start doing short answers so we can try to get everyone as much as we can. Okay, Dead Red 7 says this: let's say you found a product you like, but you're struggling to find a supplier, Peter and Angel, this may be for you, that sells that product that isn't just the same, as everything else out there. Or find another product. Well, I'll answer part of it, and then Peter and Angel, you guys can answer the second half. 100% believe that you can find a supplier to build a different version of it so it's not the same. Because if a supplier can build one thing, they can build something else. So never let that discourage you. For those of you guys who go to Alibaba and you're trying to sell your favorite glass, it's awesome, you love it, it's selling on Amazon, you looked at the numbers, you use whatever tools, and you go to Alibaba and you can't find it, you should count yourself very blessed. Like if you can find it on Alibaba easily, that's not so good. I've had people complain and go, but I can't find it, there's no supplier. That's exactly what you want. That's how you differentiate yourself, you guys. But Peter and Angel, what are your thoughts on this as far as what do you do? So let's say I want a new version of this glass and I can't find a supplier who can build maybe a taller one, for example. Can you find that supplier for me? What would that look like, Peter and Angel?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Because my VPN connection is dropping out, so I didn't hear.
Absolutely. I totally understand. You're in China, and there's a lot of restrictions. You have to use a VPN in order to be on Google. Google's one of the most difficult things. One of the people at the conference, they did this giveaway, like this raffle prize in a previous conference, and someone received a Google computer, the Google Chrome something $600 computer. I've never even seen it before, so I couldn't tell you what it's like, but it requires the use of Google Chrome. And when they got it in China and they took it back, she realized she couldn't even use it, so she sent it back because there's so many restrictions. So I totally understand. Let's say I want to sell this glass, but I want to sell a taller version of it, and I cannot find anyone on Alibaba or DHgate who can actually build this glass for me. Can you help me?
So if someone wants not the exact product, what it was on Amazon, but a modification, make the glass, make it longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it can happen that basically I have some idea how I want to modify that product. So that is my unique product that would be different, like that glass would be longer or any other personal stuff that would be totally unique. Nobody else has it. So in that case, we find the factories who are actually making those products, and after we start to check with them that who can make that product with our specifications or how it's possible to modify. And yeah, generally we can come to a point that the factory will say that, yes, if we add, I don't know, for whatever amount, they can modify, they can make a mold, they can create the mold actually, and they can produce it. So the answer is yes.
Okay, very helpful. So I have a follow-up question. You find a factory, they can build this taller, they're gonna make a new mold. Do I pay for the mold? Is the first question. And second, now doesn't that mean they can make that product for a competitor of mine who didn't have to pay for the mold? Let me know if that makes sense.
Yes. So yes, we always need to pay for a mold, and that is a range. So basically, if I want to make something like a box or anything, and that is different what they have on stock, so they actually, example depends on mold. So for a paper box like this big size, it can be like 600 Chinese yuan, what is about under $100, for example, or $80. So for that price, they make a mold, and after the product itself would be way cheaper. So because it's a factory, so I'm getting much better price. It can be like the whole box will be, I don't know, 70 cents, 80 cents. The mold is more pricey, but after I can order 1,000 boxes and I pay 80 cents. Now, it's an interesting question because if someone is planning to use those boxes in the future, it's better to order a bigger amount and keep on stock, because to make those boxes after the mold is done is very cheap.
And in order to protect myself from that supplier making the new glass for another competitor, would you recommend me getting it embossed? Or if it's a kind of product I can do this, where literally my logo is part of the mold. You know what I mean? Not just slapping it on, like painting it, but literally it's part of the mold. So that way they're not going to want to make this and send it out to a competitor. What are your thoughts on that, Peter and Angel?
Yes, that's definitely a good solution, because if my logo, for example, is part of that mold, they cannot use that mold for something else to make a glass that doesn't have that, because the mold was done. So for any other variations or for other customer, they need to do a new mold.
Right, right. I'm going to add something to this that might be helpful to you guys, because right now the biggest competition for most sellers is Chinese sellers. And this is nothing against Chinese, just it's the reality, because a lot of them are selling in Amazon. There is a website called WIPO.com, WIPO.com. It is the equivalent of getting a trademark / registered copyright in the United Kingdom, Australia, or the US, but in China. And you can register there, and literally there are lawyers who will go to battle for you if there is an issue with intellectual property and you feel like you're being someone selling a knockoff or using your trademark, using your copyrighted material. And they will contact them. And Angel, correct me if I'm wrong on this, this is what I'm learning from other people. But in China, the government is here and the business is here. In America and UK, they're more mixed. But you know, this is business and over here is the government. And the business don't want the government, you know, like, hey, would you like to have a cup of tea with me, is a bad sign. Like, don't get involved. And they do not want that. And so it gives you a lot of leverage and power to protect yourself from a Chinese seller who's selling on Amazon your product. So, you know, we talk about getting your trademark done in the US, the European Union, Canada, Australia, places like that. Those don't have any value in China because it's a different country. They don't recognize that. But with the WIPO, you can do almost the equivalent of that and use that as leverage to protect yourself. I don't know if that's something you want to elaborate on or not, Peter and Angel, but I just thought I would throw it out there.
Well, honestly, we don't have too much experience to this degree that how much the government is protecting individuals and how the business is mixing with government, because I saw examples a little bit this way and a little bit that way too. So it can be true, but they can be also exceptions. So I'm not sure how to answer this question. These are like a black or white way.
Yeah, no problem. Totally fine. I just wanted to throw it out there. This is something I learned from someone who's much smarter than me, and I just thought I would share it. This is actually a lawyer who his 100% job is to protect Amazon sellers. He will actually, I'm going to throw this out there, no one directly asked it, but guys, this is super important. If Amazon kicks you off and you know you did nothing wrong because someone had the audacity to walk up and say, hey, you know that product, it's not authentic. What? It's glass. What do you mean it's not authentic? Or, hey, I have a trademark. You guys, I don't know if you guys saw on the news that whole fake lawyer deal where these lawyers came out and they pretended to be lawyers, and Amazon responded and kicked someone off and banned their account. They lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's probably terrifying you guys, right? Like, I'm not going to sell to Amazon. Let me tell you the good news. When you sign up with Amazon, your contract, the legal part, anytime you make a business contract with someone, there has to be a part, well, if we have a disagreement, what do? Well, there's a thing called arbitration where you bring in a third person and they arbitrate between you and them. It's buried down there in the documents, but it's there on Amazon and it's hard to find. But your business contract with Amazon, if you ever really do get in a situation where you feel like Amazon's not treating you fairly, you can get a third-party arbitrator. They will come in, you represent you, someone from Amazon represents Amazon, and if you have the trademark, if you have the patent, if you have the copyright and you can prove it, then the arbitrator is should vote in your favor. They don't care about the fact that they have nothing to do with the fact that Amazon says, you know, we're going to go to court. They ignore that. They don't care. They just look at the case. And if you can prove your case and they vote that they decide you're right, Amazon will say no problem. They will back off because Amazon doesn't want to go to court. You know why? Because if Amazon goes to court, guess what happens? They're required to reveal some of the algorithms and things they do not want the world to know. And you know what happens if Amazon starts revealing this information? Blogs are going to come out. Tools are going to come out based on all this information that they want to keep secret. So guys, you have more power than you realize. And I don't want anyone to be in the dark. Okay, sorry, that's a huge topic. We can touch on that more at another time. I hope that's helpful, guys. I'm going to get back to the point here. Okay, so let's go with Chris's comment. Oh, it's an answer, so awesome. All right, let's see. Has anyone here opened a limited company in the United Kingdom living outside of the UK, and any advice on opening a business bank account in the UK? What I would do is, the easiest thing to do is make sure that the country that you are opening the company in is approved by Amazon. So for example, if you are selling on Amazon.com, there are certain countries you may have a business in to do that, and there are certain ones you cannot. Simple as that. So for example, I'll use an example from someone from our team. If you are living in South Africa, some of you guys here are living in South Africa, you cannot open a business in South Africa and sell on Amazon.com. It won't work, but you can sell on Amazon.uk. You go to just Google it and it'll show you the list of approved countries. So if that's the case, you live in South Africa, you want to sell on Amazon.com, what do? You start your business in the United Kingdom or somewhere else. See? Oleg, do you mind me asking, where did you start your business? Do you mind if I ask that?
Yeah, sure. What we did, we went to Estonia. This is a country in Europe, and they provide something they call e-residency. So you can make you a digital residency and create your digital company. And it works with Amazon and .com and UK, everything. But to be honest, it's not super cool digital as it promoted. But they going in this direction, and yeah, so. Okay,
very cool. And I know a lot of people will start their company in Delaware because of tax advantage. So just, you guys, what matters is where the company's located, okay? If your money is, I'm answering this because there's a bunch of questions that came up in the chat on this. If the money you're supposed to get paid by Amazon, if you live in a different country than where they have an approved bank. So again, let's use South Africa as an example. You live in South Africa, you're not going to get paid at a South African bank by Amazon.com. They won't do it. So what do? You set up with Payoneer. And Payoneer will take care of that. They're sort of like a third party where they can pull the money from Amazon, put it to you where you need. See what I mean? And that's how it works. And Payoneer is probably going to also be at our conference next March, which I'm super excited about. Guys, I want you to know, you're building a business. I feel bad because I feel like I'm sharing all this scary stuff. Know the truth so you know how to do it. And people are saying, oh, it's so simple, just do this, 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 and the magic thing. It doesn't work like that. Just this morning, I looked at our Facebook group on our team for Just One Dime. Someone asked a question. In 5 minutes, it had 2 paragraphs of answers, and it was a deep question. That's the kind of community and help people should be looking for to succeed. Okay, let me go back up and look at some more questions. I agree, Masterpiece Chamber, Amazon is amazing, 100%. Why is Amazon Flex so bad in the UK? I don't know how to answer that question, Scott. You got to be more specific, brother. Okay, here's a question. What if, David, I'll give this one to you, man. What if I order only 50 units, but the minimum order quantity from suppliers is too high for me? What do I do?
He wants to order 50 units, right from? Well, I mean, it depends on what your priorities are. I mean, I would never go for 50 units in my first order. I mean, 50 units would be a test order. I mean, that's how I call it. There's no way that you can successfully test a private label product with only 50 units. You might get lucky and then you just launch your 50 units and then sell them all and say, okay, this is a good niche. But it's gonna be a waste of time. I just prefer go all in. I mean, 300, 400, 500 units, do a good private label job, differentiate my product, and then go for that. If you ask me, I mean, I wouldn't do it at this point. I just, try to make, to save a little bit more money and then go for a higher quantity.
I had a meal with someone who is coming out with a new product on Amazon, and he said, Seth, I'm not gonna take the first 40 or 50 and give those away for reviews. They're too expensive. And I said, you got to rethink this. This is marketing cost. You need social proof. You need reviews. So to piggyback on what David just shared, in our community, you can get a large number of reviews on your product. And by large, I mean easily 20, 40, 50 reviews if you're very diligent, legitimate reviews, and you're not going to make money on those. So if you order 50 your first time, think of that as this is promotion, but as soon as those are gone, your BSR is going to go, whoop, which is bad. You want it to go down, right? So you need more. So at least 300 or 400 or 500, you have to spend money in order to make that happen. And Peter Z in the chat says, I chose a product, I heard it is not possible to be made. Peter, anything can be made. Just decide that now, anything can be made. The question is, am I willing to look hard enough to find someone who can make it for me? And you can do that. Jade Lee says this, what do you guys think? I'll throw this out to all of you guys. Would you say it is better to register my Amazon selling account with my normal account? And I think by that, she means her buying account, where she buys stuff, or does it matter? What do you guys think? Anyone?
I'll jump in. I'll say no. You're building a business, so your seller account should be a business. Simple as that.
Nope. You're buying, you're selling. Yeah. How long does it take for Amazon to pay your turnover so you can reinvest this amount? What do you guys think? I think what they mean is how long does it take them to pay you?
This is a very bad question, and
just to lead up, bad question.
yeah, well, it's again, if you start with one product and you can get some money back in few months, depends on how many sales you do daily, so you can turn over. But this is quite tricky because you need some deposit in supplier to start new production, and you have something shipping, traveling, something in warehouse, and then you want to start new products. So what we doing, we take all our money and reinvest inside, so we don't take it out. So it's like we're growing, and even we bring in some investors in the game to make it more growing faster and faster. And so it's like it's not taking money out as long as you can, so you can grow higher, bigger.
Right. For one of my business partners, we aren't touching the money until we have 100,000 a month. So all that money goes back, goes to an agreement. It's written on paper in a Google Doc. We've signed it. Like, it has to keep going back in, and then we can say, okay, do you want to sell the business? Do you want to take some out? Whatever. Just you have to have that. Feed your tree, and someday it will feed you. But if you keep picking all the fruit from that tree, it's gonna dry up, and or if you cut the tree down and use it for firewood because of one cold night, you just lost years of work. It's not worth it. Don't kill and eat the goose that lays you golden eggs. Keep feeding the goose. Jeffrain says, how can I coordinate? Peter and Angel, I'll give this question to you. And guys, if you have questions about 3D rendering and images, Drago's like, guys, I'm here. I can help you. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. Jeffrain says, how can I coordinate, Peter and Angel? Talking to 3 suppliers, because I'm depending on all of them for my bundle. In other words, this supplier is doing one part, this supplier is doing one part, this supplier is doing one part. What is the best way to manage that communication? What would you guys recommend, Peter and Angel? Let me know if the question makes sense.
Well, I think the simplest question is that basically how we do, we are just talking to each supplier every day, several times. Basically, we are sitting on them, and so it's pretty clear that when we need to get all those samples or all those products to us, so we can use them, we can assemble or bundle the products and get done all the rest. I think that's just the only answer. So we need to make sure that they understand when we need it, and just reinforce, repeat until we have it done.
And you have 2 options, Jeffrain. You can get someone to take care of that for you, like Peter and Angel, or you can do it yourself. I would do that based on time and money. If you're low on money, do it yourself. But if you're short on, if you got a lot of money, you're short on time, pay someone to do it for you. You'll end up making more money. What do you think of WhatsApp, Peter and Angel? What is your preferred method of communication? WhatsApp, Skype, what do you think works best? Email with suppliers?
Well, here we are in China. So in China, WeChat is the key. Everyone has WeChat or QQ. or it depends that how we work. For a general communication, just to say hi or how it's going, or okay, a little bit more business related, but just simple questions we can do on WeChat. But the QQ is a much bigger platform. We can do file sharing, screen sharing. All these different features are built into that. Is a massive tool, also on mobile and also on a computer. So for example, I just today got a question that, oh, I have several 100 megabyte size files. How can I get that to you? So yes, we can try Dropbox or any kind of file sharing service, but QQ has everything with it. So I tried the Dropbox. It took me, I don't know, 10 minutes to transfer a 500 megabyte file. Okay, yes, I need to use VPN for that, but for QQ, it took like less than 1 minute. It's very fast, very convenient, and all that stuff. So I don't think there is any supplier or factory or manufacturer or agent who doesn't have QQ. And that is the platform what we are using, and that is the fastest way. So if I want to coordinate with someone, that goes through QQ, because that QQ is everywhere, in every tool. And if we need something urgent, we must have that tool. Emails are very slow. Sometimes we cannot get to it, but on a mobile, I can send huge files, receive huge files right on the mobile, and that is all QQ. And I think that's the best way. With QQ, just repeat the communication, reinforce it, and to get it done.
Yeah.
It looks like a little penguin, guys, with a red scarf. Just QQ, the 2 letters. You can look it up as an application. Very helpful. I've used WhatsApp for a long time. I've not used QQ, so thank you very much, Peter and Angel. Okay, Drago, we got 14 minutes, guys. How about real life photos? If I just send a picture to Drago, how much does he charge to find a model and add it to my product? So I'll answer this question at the beginning at least. So for Just One Dime members, it's $172 for 3 3D rendered photos. If you choose to get 9, it's hugely discounted, 30-some%. I don't remember the number off the top of my head because I'm on 90 minutes of sleep. So if you're in Just One Dime, it's discounted. If you're outside of, it's 25% more than 172. It's like around 200, if that helps. But Drago, could you explain the process a little bit? Like if I approach you and I say, Drago, you know, here's my glass. Can you make me 3D render photos? What do you need from me in order to make this happen? Because there's the one thing I love about 3D renders, guys. I do not have to ship my product to Drago. I don't have to pay for shipping. He doesn't have to receive it, make sure he got it. It's actually a lot easier. Go ahead, man.
Yes, of course. So yeah, that's a huge advantage. I don't have to have a product at myself. So basically, if you want me to make 3D renders, lifestyle or on white background, first I need you to make images from all angles, so I see shape of the product. Then, and also materials of what it's made of. And after that, I'm making my software 3D model. And then when I finish that 3D model, I'm applying textures, lights, and everything, and I'm making final image that you will use for selling. Or I can make on a white background, and also manipulation with stock images. So yeah, that's it's a big advantage because we have a lot of freedom. When you finish one 3D render image, we can basically make any image with your product.
So would an example of manipulation be you get a picture of a human and then you add the 3D render into the picture so it looks like they're really holding it?
Yes, that's right. That's,
gotcha.
And it's very fast. It's very, very fast.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to take a few more questions, guys. We're going to wrap this up, and then I will share with you. Well, I'll just do it now because so many of you guys have asked about this. So very simple. And again, this is an option for you if you want, if it's helpful. What I did is I connected with each of the people here. And each of these people represents a different expertise relevant to Amazon. And we created a new bundle. And this new bundle, I'll just tell you the price. It's $997 for a year. It's very low price, and it includes 4 hours of coaching every single week. Live coaching. Not talking about just plug and play videos. Goodbye. If you want to be filmed, we're talking about live coaching like this, talking, helping. Coaching that is not public on YouTube. In-depth coaching, as well as over 100 hours of workshops, 100 hours of how-to videos, infographics. I mean, you can ask David, you can ask Drago, you can ask Peter. It's a ton of stuff. It's massive. But here's the thing. Some of you guys asked about Amazou. If you decide you want this bundle, you get Amazou with it, hugely discounted. You get lifetime access to Keyword Tool Dominator with it. If you get an upgraded version of it, it'll be on the site. You also get a full website built for you. You also get logo branding and consultation. You also get 3D rendered photos. You also, for either one, you get 4 suppliers recommended to you with pictures of samples. So if you're looking for, hey, I need a supplier for this, Peter and Angel will go find around up to 4. Now, obviously, they're going to be limited by what is out there, but on average, it's going to be around up to 4 suppliers. Find samples for you, take pictures, send them to you, so you can trust this is a supplier that's trustworthy. The reason we're adding that, and this is, in my opinion, one of the most important pieces, getting a supplier you can trust is difficult. We're just throwing that in as part of it. $9.97, the whole thing. You can do an upgraded version and include the 3D rendered photos, the logo, the branding, a website, fully functional, automated with Amazon, all of that stuff with training. It's all in one. So that is the news I wanted to share with you guys. We're going to take a few more questions, guys. I'll share the link, and then I'm going to go sleep because I'm so tired. This is really fun, but I'm tired. I'm looking at my eyes right now, and they're like red and everything. Let's do this for fun. What advice would you guys give to Amazon sellers? David, Drago, Kyle, whoever wants to share. Oleg, like, what would you say right now? Someone's getting all this information. They're going, whoa, there's so much information. What would you tell them to encourage them? What would you say? Anyone wants to share it, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to say about the bundle that we're just launching. We all here are making sacrifices in order to make this happen. And I'm talking about money, obviously. It's just amazing. I mean, it's amazing what was put together, so I truly advise you to go for it. For Amazon sellers, I would like to talk about it. I believe love for what you do is super important. You need to know to love this business. If you get upset with the business, the chances that you fail are very, very small. So if you are about to get into this business, just make sure that you are all in. It's not something like, okay, let me try and see what happens. You are all in or just don't do it.
Yes, I would say also don't rush the process. So take time and you learn as much as you can, and one step at a time.
I'll add on to all of that. You know, as I would consider myself a serial entrepreneur, and one thing I've learned over the last 20 years is be consistent and be persistent.
What he just said, you guys, be consistent and persistent. I'm convinced the #1 reason entrepreneurs fail, it's not because of the market, it's not because of the resources, it's not even because of training. It's not because of where they live. And I know where you live has an impact on that. Those of you guys who live in far-flung places in the world where Amazon isn't, it's harder. I get that. But I'm also seeing people who are millionaires living in those places, building their fortune on Amazon. If you give up, if you're the kind of person when you hit a roadblock, you're the kind of person who's, forget it. It's not right for me. That was dumb anyways. It's saturated. Those are BS excuses. Those aren't real. You haven't actually tested it. You can succeed, but you have to have a thought of, let me give you an example. I love this. Okay, this is like the coolest thing I heard when I was in Seattle, and it's so simple. I was up there speaking, and we did some Q&A. And I gave everyone some encouragement and hope at the end to not give up and to keep focusing on their dreams. And one lady, she raised her hand, and she said, Seth, I have to tell you this. And I said, what? She goes, my husband and I started on Amazon. And the first month, guess how much we sold? We made 1 sale. And all our friends said, we're dumb. We're stupid. This is a hopeless cause. The next month, we made 3 sales. You can see where this is going? Does it sound like doubling a dime to you? It starts really tiny, but it keeps growing. She says, that was 10 years ago. Now we have 15 employees. They make millions. There you go. They continued. They were persistent. They kept going. Instead of saying, I only got 1 sale, but they're getting 500 sales, and Amazon's doing all this stuff that's not fair. They said, no, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to learn. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to hustle. And when I keep going, all these competitors, some of these are going to give up, but I'm going to keep going. And in the end, after a while, my wife and I launched this product months ago. It took forever to get it going. Now it just keeps selling. I have an assistant who sends me a text when the inventory gets low. Hey, we only have this so-and-so left. It's just selling. We're not running a single ad on it. It just keeps selling and making money. But the hard work was way back. Now that's money coming to our account because we worked hard. Maybe I'm lazy like Oleg too. And now we can focus on finding other products. That's the beauty of it, guys. Any more advice? Anything else anyone want to share?
Yeah, I want to add one more thing, and just don't give up, this for sure. And another thing I think is important for many people starting in Amazon is seeing long term, creating a business. It's not something, it's not drop shipping for something like short term. It's like, think of the business, try to build the processes, delegate. So, you know, in 1 year, you can enjoy the fruits of it. Yeah. So if you build it big and long term, you can enjoy it. Other ways, you will be, you know, like slave of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, that 50 cents. No. Let me check that. Maybe we should have worked all night. The bundle's showing at 50 cents, guys. I'm so embarrassed right now. Please let us fix it. I promise if you order for 50 cents, you're not getting it in just time. That would be so unfair to all the people in this room. Give us a few minutes. I'll fix it. Okay, guys? That's too hilarious. And I'm embarrassed. Really good advice, Oleg. Thank you. So Andrew, if you want to contact Drago, you can go directly to Amazon, justonedime.com. I'll just send it to you. Jod, hold on 1 sec. Turn on my text expander so it's automated. Kyle has taught me a thing or more about automation. It's on / so you can get it right there. We don't give out their contact information. To get in contact, you have to get the product, then you're in contact. Otherwise, people just send them endless questions. Yes, no, Baliat. Give me a few minutes to fix it, okay? My apologies. So, yeah. All right. Any last words, guys? And I'm going to wrap this up because I got to go fix that right now. Anything else anyone want to share? All right. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for being here. David, Drago, Kyle, Oleg, Peter, Angel, and everyone else, thank you for being here and being a part of this. We are going to do everything we can to help you succeed. We will fix that link right now. Give me like 5 minutes. And thank you so much, guys. Have an awesome, awesome day. And yeah, I'll resend you the link for the product, guys. All right, take care, guys. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.
Bye.